Let's unbox the Star Wars Unlimited Shadows of the Galaxy 2-player starter set. Villa Varykino. If it's Star Wars, we collect it. Hello there, thanks for visiting Villa Varykino. A couple of weeks ago, the fun new Star Wars card game Star Wars Unlimited had their second release, titled Shadows of the Galaxy. The first one was A Spark of Rebellion. I picked up the pre-release box at an event for the exclusive cards, opened up the packs inside, there was some really fun art. At the same time, I picked up the 2-player starter set because this one also has some exclusive cards that I wanted to add to my collection, so it's definitely time to open up this one. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Coming up really soon, I'll open the box. We'll check out all of the contents for this starter set. But first, let's take one last look at the packaging. The first release of Star Wars Unlimited, titled Spark of Rebellion, was largely set in the original trilogy era, as you can see with the art here, and had a red accent color for the packaging. Of course, it was no surprise that we didn't have to wait too long for content from the very popular Mandalorian series to show up in this new Star Wars card game. So we can see for the second release, Shadows of the Galaxy, we have two main characters from the Mandalorian series, the Mandalorian himself being the good guy of the set, and Moff Gideon over here being the bad guy of the set. I really like the artwork of these two characters, and for the second release we have this really nice purple accent color which we can see across the top. It also marks up here there are 2 decks ready to play, and this game is intended for ages 12 and up. We also have the Fantasy Flight game logo there, as well as the iconic Star Wars logo, and we can see this is labeled as a 2-player starter there. I really like the Shadows of the Galaxy logo there as well. The side panels are just kind of simplified versions of that front art for each of the characters. We have Moff Gideon on the Moff Gideon side, along with the Shadows of the Galaxy logo there, and on the Mandalorian side we have that art repeated here down the side as well. Moving on to the back, there is a lot of information. Of course, these are starter sets. They are a great introduction to the game for new players, so lots of information here. The pack at the front mentioned that there were 2 pre-built decks. We can see that we have a list of cards for each of them. The Moff Gideon starter deck list has all of the titles for the cards, and on this side we can see the Mandalorian starter deck list as well. Reading through the little blurb here at the back, it says this 2-player starter box comes with everything you and a friend will need to learn and play the game, including 2 fully built decks, rules, tokens, and more. Also included are full play sets of 10 different exclusive cards that can only be found in this starter set. So if you are a collector at heart, even if you know how to play this game, you will definitely want to pick this one up for those exclusive cards from this set. I picked up the Shadows of the Galaxy pre-release, which already had leader cards of the Mandalorian and Moff Gideon, but those leader cards are different to the ones found in the set. So I definitely wanted to pick up the alternate versions. We can see we've got a little bit of an insert artwork here of some of the cards and tokens and Grogu. It's nice to see him being included there. And we also see the pack art for the separate booster boxes, which you can pick up to build up more cards for your deck. We can see we have a content list here, 110 cards, 40 counters, 1 quick start rules, 2 playmats / posters, and 2 folded deck boxes. So again, everything it takes for 2 people to play this game. We can see we've got a recommendation for card sleeves if you want to protect your cards, and we've got a fun Star Wars themed barcode there with Luke and the Tatooine Twin Suns logo there as well. Made in the USA. This is a really neat packaging style. I know some people just sort of rip open and get straight to the cards, but I like to keep my packaging from the Star Wars Unlimited range. So lots of information. Let's get stuck in and open it up. Because I wanted to keep my packaging here, I chose to open it up from the side. It has a lot of glue down these side flaps, but I managed to open it up, still keeping the side flap looking reasonable. So we can see inside there's lots of goodies in here. So I'm going to start pulling everything out because there is lots of stuff. Of course, there's pretty much everything ×2 because of course it's designed for 2 players. So I'm going to see if I can get everything out of here. Lots to go over. I can see the cards are kind of slipped in this little sort of separate cardboard section here. So I'm hoping I can get them both out this same side so I don't actually need to open up the pack from both sides. Okay, so that looks like pretty much everything now. I can put the box off to the side so we can look. So we've got sort of the waxy paper for each deck. I can see Moff Gideon as the leader card on the top of this deck, and we've got the Mandalorian as the leader card at the top of this deck. We've got 2 sets of tokens here that you can punch out and use for each player there. We've got, oh, it's actually different. We've got only 1 Star Wars Unlimited token. Oh, I didn't notice that at first. So we've still got the NX token for each of them, but only one has the Star Wars Unlimited. That's kind of interesting. We have 2 deck boxes. These are different to the cardboard deck boxes that were included in the pre-release. Those are all black. These ones have the accent color from this particular release, which is purple. Those look really nice. We have the Shadows of the Galaxy version of the Quick Start Rules. The Quick Start Rules pamphlet that was in the very first Spark of Rebellion boxes had different art, and of course they had the red accent color. And we have these sort of playmats / posters. So these are going to be really big, but I'll try and sort of fold them out. We can see that we have the same art as on the box. So I can see the Mandalorian firing his blaster there. And on the other side, we've got a sort of a layout here. So if I flip it around, we can see we've got space units, base, leader, ground units, resources, deck and discard pile, and handy references. So you lay this out on your playing surface. You've got your sort of handy, helpful hints, steps to set up, and spots to place all of your cards. Of course, there is a fantastic range of sort of peripheral accessories that you can buy for Star Wars Unlimited, including those nice neoprene playmats, but they don't have, generally speaking, the sort of placement or instructions. We can see the Moff Gideon one here as well. And I think it's nice that you've got big artwork on the back, because if you already know how to play, I can see you've got that one up the right way, you can put this on your wall. That is a huge poster there of Moff Gideon with stormtroopers and even a death trooper there as well. This is really big and nice. So you can put this on your wall if you don't need the actual sort of playing surface. Perhaps you've already got one of the really nice ones. So I'll shift everything around so we can go through those cards. I'm really keen to see them, especially the exclusive ones. Now it's time to go through the 2 pre-built decks, and I'm going to start off with Moff Gideon. Of course, they're all nicely packaged so that you're not going to mix them up. Just going to take off this paper. This is always kind of fun. I know it's not quite as exciting as the random booster packs because, of course, these are pre-built. We know what they are, but I haven't seen them in person, so I'm going to have a lot of fun going through all of the neat art. So, of course, we have the leader card, Moff Gideon. And this is the back art, the same one there, different to the ones in the pre-release box. So I like having this sort of alternate version. Okay, so we've got a base card here, Remnant Science Facility on Navarro. Of course, very fitting for Moff Gideon. So we also have this was the token upgrade one. Okay, so they're all the other side. Okay, so we have token upgrades on both sides. That's kind of interesting. Usually on the sort of the booster box ones, the token upgrades are on the back of the bases. This one here has a checklist. We can see how many of each of them. Of course, you can have multiples of many different types of cards. We can see that they have numbers as well as their rarities listed there as well. So that's really nice. So yeah, a kind of a unique difference there, because generally speaking, the base cards have these token upgrades on the back. So instead we have individual token upgrade cards. We have that one there, Shield, and the experience ones. And we've got another one. We've got quite a few here. Okay, so we've got 3 of those token cards. Okay, so I'm going to run through the art here. We've got Warzone Lieutenant a couple of times. Dr. Pershing, that's quite fun. I have met the actor in person at a convention. He was lovely. Very nice. General tag. Incinerator Trooper. I love these guys. That's so fun. There we can see the art. Oh, we got a couple of them. Very nice. I know it said on the checklist how many of each of these cards that this pack included, but I wasn't going to commit all of those numbers to memory. Okay, Outland, TIE, Vanguard. Very nice. I like the theming I'm getting so far. Of course, with the Mandalorian and Moff Gideon being so central, of course, we're going to expect to see a lot of that Mandalorian series content in these decks. Privateer Crew. Very nice. Seasoned Shore Trooper. Very nice. I like the ones that have blaster fire. Just kind of adds a little bit of movement and action to it. We have that one twice there. Oh, 3 times. Nice. Snow Trooper Lieutenant. Another blaster fire one. I like that. Of course, we are going to get not just Mandalorian content in these decks, but I like the theming so far. Cell Block Guard. I think I might have got this one in one of my sort of random pre-release box sets as well. Something about the art has been familiar. Once I've done all this, I'm going to have so much fun going through all of the cards I have for this game so far. Death Trooper. I love this sort of badass one-handed sort of pose here with his blaster rifle with explosions in the background. That looks really cool. Okay, we've got a couple of the Death Trooper cards. We've got 3 of that one. Phase 3 Dark Trooper. I have not seen this art in person before. I just recently unboxed the Vintage Collection 3.75-inch action figure of the Dark Trooper. I love these guys in the show. So menacing. That is really cool art. That would look amazing as a foil. Very nice. Very cool. Oh, that one. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, and there's a couple of versions. Oh, you can have 3 Dark Troopers. Super Laser Technician. Very nice. Original trilogy. And we've got a few of that one. 2, 3. The Client. I think it's kind of fun. We never really knew his name. It's kind of fun. I like the art there. I can hear the voice of the actor in my mind when I see this. That's so fun. Okay, tongue twister time. Kirax heavy fighter. I know I did not get that one pronounced properly, but very cool. The starship art in Star Wars Unlimited is always particularly nice. I like the movement there. System Patrol Craft. I know I have this card already. We've got a couple of it in this particular deck. Discerning Veteran. It's kind of peaceful. It's interesting. Sort of an alien. I think that's a Caldor looking up at a starship flying off in the background. Nice. That's a bounty hunter one. Pirate Battle Tank. Again, blaster fire. It always just sort of adds a little bit of something. And we've got 2 of that particular card. Gideon's Light Cruiser. That makes sense to have his starfighter sort of leadership, a Dark Troopers station as it says, capital ship. Very good to have that in the deck to match Moff Gideon, of course. Really nice. And we've got a couple of that card. Oh, 3 of that one. Top Target. That's kind of fun. One of the characters from the Mandalorian series. Very, very cool. He was kind of fun. Legal Authority. We've got the X-Wings when they're sort of telling off Mandalorian when he's going a little too fast in his new souped up N1. That was always kind of a fun moment there. Price on Your Head. I know I have this card already, but it's still fun to see it in this deck. We've got a couple of versions of that card there. Outflank. Very cool. We've got an AT-ST kind of sneaking up behind some Endor Rebel troopers there. Timely Intervention. We've got Embo. Very cool. With sort of a hologram of a Hutt gangster in the background. Confiscate. We've got Imperials with an imprisoned roadie in there. That's kind of fun. We've got a couple of that one because I like that one. Just defeat and upgrade. Very nice. Ooh, Moment of Glory. We have a First Order Trooper here. That's kind of fun. This expansion does have a little bit more sequel trilogy content than the first one. Oh, another Dark Trooper art. That is cool. Looking down like that. This one is Calculated Lethality. That's a really nice angle for that art. Very cool. Oh, and we've got a second one of that card. Oh, and a third. Very cool. Remnant Reserves. Wow, that's really fantastic art. We've got Dark Troopers here, Death Troopers at the front, and a whole bunch of Stormtroopers. That looks like a troop transport vehicle behind them. That's really neat. So that one is the last pack of the Moff Gideon set. So of course, one thing that's perhaps a little bit disappointing about these starter sets is they don't include hyperspace variants or any foil cards. So I know some collectors may not be as fussed about these because you're not going to get those kind of rare variant versions of it, but you do get exclusive cards. There are some really cool cards in there. But anyway, I'm really happy to have those ones for my collection. So let's move on to the Mandalorian deck, because of course I tend to consider myself to be a little bit more of a rebel girl, light side aligned, than I am with the dark side. So I want to see what the kind of quote-unquote good guy deck is for. I know the Mandalorian's a little bit on the sort of grey side, a little bit of a fringe character at the start, though I dare say he is more of a light side character. He certainly works with the rebellion more than he does with the Empire these days. So this is the Mandalorian Leader card from the starter deck with that same artwork there, Bounty Hunter. And on the back we have the same art there. Very nice. Very cool. Oh, and his base card is the Remote Village Sorgan. I loved that episode. I ever wonder if he's ever going to find his way back to this planet. I thought that was a lovely episode. And so the back of this card is the checklist. So again, we can see the names of all of the cards in the Mandalorian deck. We can see the numbers and the rarities and how many of each of the different cards we're going to get. The name Fel the Dragon is jumping out to me. I can't wait to see what that one looks like. Again, I haven't seen the art. Oh, and I see a Fennec Shand. Very, very exciting. I want to see that one. Very cool. Oh, and the Armorer. Oh, this is cool. Because I didn't want to get too spoiled. I didn't read through all of the cards on the back of the box. This is going to be really exciting. Okay, so we should have a couple of the token upgrades. They are the same across both decks. We've sort of got the sort of blue and grey Mandalorians there and Mando himself on the other side with his Beskar spear. Very nice. Okay, so now we're on to the sort of more unique cards. We've got Clan Wren Rescuer as a Mandalorian trooper, and of course the rest of these cards have the standard Star Wars Unlimited back. So we've got a couple of Clan Wren Rescuer, Follower of the Way. That's very nice. I like the action, the sort of the motion blur of the surroundings there. That's really nice. And we've got a couple of that card. Oh, 3 of that card. Grief Karga, that's fun. I'm sad the actor passed away, but he was such a great character in the show. I like that art, holding a drink aloft. Very cool. Okay, and we have a couple of Grief Karga. Oh, we've got 3. Oh no, we've got Grogu. I'm so happy he's in here. Again, I was trying not to read through the list. That's so cute. So he's got his little knob there. He's reaching for it. That's really cool. Cute. Okay. Oh, and we've got a couple of Grogu. We've got 3. Very nice. Queel, I have spoken, and Queel is pictured with a blurg. I like that. I love blurgs. You don't get the creatures in the card games quite as much as sort of, you know, the characters with blasters and weapons, but I like seeing them included, like that one there. And of course, I always think of blurgs with Queel, so I like that art. Very cool. Okay, HWK 290 Freighter. Nice. Got a bit of a planet underneath. I like the detail in that art. And we've got that one there a couple of times, 3 times. Mandalorian Warrior. That's so cool. Marching down the hallway with a bit of a flamethrower effect there. Protector of the Throne. That's different. Really interesting. Cool. And I'm definitely going to have to go through and sort of read all of the text and figure out which ones that I'm really going to be sort of excited to play. We've got Village Protectors there as a ground unit. We've got a couple of versions of that card. We've got 3. Chain Code Collector. Some underworld bounty hunters there. Those are kind of cool. We've got that one a couple of times there. The Razor Crest, of course. That's fantastic. Oh, reliable gunship. Oh, that looks really cool. I love the sort of galaxy background there. The fire spray, really nice there. Oh, and of course, we've got that 3 times. Nice. Oh, Survivor's Gauntlet. I love a Bo-Katan's Gauntlet Starfighter. I have it in a couple of different collectible formats. That is really cool. Nice. I love this ship. So happy to have it in my collection from this game. The Armorer. Oh, I love that art. As she's forging some Beskar. That's great with her hammer held aloft. I like the angle, so looking up at her iconic helmet. That's a really neat card. Survival is a strength. And of course, the ability for this card, when played, give a shield token to each of up to 3 Mandalorian units. That's so fitting for her, isn't it? Of course, she's all about sort of defense and shielding because she doesn't actually wield that much in terms of weaponry. We don't really see her with blasters. We do see her do some interesting damage with her hammers and forging tools, but I like that she's more of a defense character there. Cargo Juggernaut. Wasn't that an amazing episode of the Mandalorian series? Oh, I love those. It reminds me of the clone turbo tanks from the Clone Wars. It's always kind of sad when you see vehicles that we recognize as being from the Galactic Republic into the Imperial era. It always kind of really hammers home the fact that the Republic is now the Empire. Same with when I see Republic gunships being Imperial gunships. And here we have a Fennec Shand. I love Fennec. She's fantastic. And that is really cool art. Of course, she's got her really iconic helmet. She's got her rifle held aloft there, her blaster rifle. Really nice. She is an underworld character, loyal sharpshooter. That's really fun. Of course, she was a bit more prominent in the Book of Boba Fett series than the Mandalorian, but of course, we were sort of introduced to her in the Mandalorian, so it's very fitting that she's in the Mandalorian's deck. Now we have Public Enemy. Oh, this is fun. We've got sort of a Star Wars character looking at wanted posters, and I can see Ezra Bridger, Zeb, and Hera in these posters. That is really fun. We often saw a lot of sort of Imperial wanted posters in the Rebels animated series, so I like that they chose to reference Rebels for this kind of artwork there. That's really fun, seeing those characters kind of there in wanted poster form. And here we have Wanted, a sort of a denizen looking at sort of those bounty sort of hologram pucks there. That's really fun. And we have that one a few times. Foundling. Wow, that's really cool art, isn't it? We've got the Mandalorian kind of guarding Grogu as he's sitting on the Seeing Stone on a Tython in that episode titled The Tragedy. That's fantastic art. I'm not really sure what my favorite card is of the deck so far, but that's definitely a contender. I really like that one. Resilient. We have a rebel trooper sort of doing some repair work on a snow speeder. That's kind of fun. And we've got that one a couple of times. Rich Reward. We've got Mandalorian there with credits on the table in front of him. That's a great angle there. This is like season 1. It's his older armor. That's kind of fun there. Snapshot Reflexes. I know I have this card already and it is one of my favorites. I love the sort of the swoosh. He's got his cape going. Some really cool dynamic sort of movement there with the art. I'm always impressed with the artists that kind of really capture action in such a small amount of artwork there. That would look so amazing as a foil too. And we have that one a few times there. Vambrace Grapple Shot. Getting the Mandalorian on quite a few of these cards, which is really fun to see. We can see him sort of firing a grapple cable from his gauntlet there. That's nice. Mandalorian armor. So we can see some of the sort of Beskar pieces there with the forge in the background. A nice helmet there in the front. That's really nice. And of course, it's again a giving defense shield token. There we go. Really nice. The Mandalorian's rifle. This is cool. His armband rifle slung across his back. Of course, we saw that in the first season. That's a nice little callback weapon there. So unique. I love that weapon. The disintegrations. Of course, we first see this rifle in that iconic Boba Fett animated section in the holiday special. That was such a fun Easter egg, including it in the Mandalorian series. And I love the way that it disintegrated his opponents in that episode. And now we have Surprise Strike, where we have Krennic. That's kind of fun. Fun art there. Oh, this is the way. Of course, it had to be the Mandalorian with his shiny Beskar armor helmet there. We've got the forge in the background because, of course, we often hear this phrase when in the presence of the armorer herself. So I like the fact that we've got that sort of little reference there with the forge in the background and some lovely shiny. Oh, this would look amazing as a foil, wouldn't it? You'd get that Beskar shine. I kind of hope this is not an exclusive card. I want this in a foil. That would look amazing. And here we have Spare the Target. Of course, we have IG-11 and the Mandalorian looking down at what we now know is Grogu in this little sort of canopy little pod there. That's really fun. Okay. That's cool artwork there. And we can see the Mandalorian's resting his hand on the blaster rifle of IG. It's asking him sort of not to take it. And here we have Fel the Dragon. And of course, that is the Crate Dragon they're referencing. We've got the Tuskens holding the Crate Dragon Pearl aloft after they defeated it. That was such an exciting episode. Oh, so cool. Wow, so many fantastic cards to go through. I like that it is easy to put together as we've got these pre-built decks of some really cool cards. The only thing is once you've got a friend to play with is deciding which person gets to play with which deck. I think you'd want to take turns being, you know, the Moff Gideon deck or the Mandalorian deck. And of course, we've also got those nifty included deck boxes to carefully store all of your brand new cards so that you can play your game. Oh, this was so fun. Definitely keen to go through all of the cards I own from this game and really start crafting my favorite deck. So now that I've gone through all of the cards in those two pre-built decks, it's time to put them in the included deck boxes. I have a couple of other examples that are also available. This black cardboard one came in the pre-release box. You can see we've got the fun accent print that we see across the Star Wars Unlimited range, the logos on the back. The only difference between the two releases is the accent color on the inside. This is from the first one with the red Spark of Rebellion color. The second one had the purple Shadows of the Galaxy color inside the pre-release box. This is one of the secondary ones that's plastic that you can buy separately that often has some really cool card art. We can see this one has the Death Star and Darth Vader there, and it also holds a lot more cards. We've also got a box there to put tokens and all sorts of other bits and pieces in there. This one we can see is a lot deeper. I can fit a lot more cards. This one is a little bit narrower, but for a free item it certainly holds a lot. So something that I somehow didn't notice when I pulled these ones out of the boxes is they actually have the character art on the back, and I don't know how I didn't notice that pulling them out of the box. So you can pull them out and you can instantly see this one is the Moff Gideon deck and this one is the Mandalorian deck, and I think that that's really fun. To be honest, I thought this was going to be exactly the same as the cardboard boxes included in the pre-release box. Also, I thought it was interesting that the boxes in the pre-release set come completely constructed. I didn't have to assemble this. This is exactly how it came inside the box. These ones were packaged in flat, so there's going to be a little bit of construction to sort of fold these all up together, but let's go ahead and construct them so I can get my cards safely in their boxes. I now have the two free included cardboard deck boxes assembled with the matching deck of cards in each one. You can see here there is enough space to fit a few more, but probably not too many more. Though of course these are pre-built decks. Once you really get to learn the game, you're going to probably want to buy more card packs and build your own custom decks. So these are probably going to get archived away with the cards inside. I do think these flaps are not really going to hold up to a lot of wear and tear. Even this cardboard box is probably going to survive better with this sort of hinge. Though of course, if you really enjoy the game, it only costs a little bit more than a single pack of cards to buy one of the plastic third-party boxes here. This one feels really durable. It's by Gamegenic. I do have a video going through some of the peripheral accessories like the game mat, acrylic tokens, and these boxes by Gamegenic in a separate video. I have those ones linked down below. These are my favorite. I think they're really cool with that art there. Of course, you can collect up all of the different boxes for different decks. They definitely hold a lot more than these ones, and they also include a plastic box to put your tokens in as well. You can see this one fits a lot of cards. It's definitely a lot more wider than these ones, but still it's nice to include a box, especially if you're new to the game and you're not sure if you're really going to invest in a lot of accessories. You've got a nice tiny little cardboard box, clearly labeled with the deck inside, that you can introduce a friend or family member to the game to learn and start playing. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today as I opened up another Star Wars Unlimited set and had a lot of fun checking out all of the cool cards inside. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are in the galaxy, and let's hang out again very soon for more Star Wars fun. May the Force be with you. If you're a Star Wars Unlimited fan, I've also unboxed a Shadows of the Galaxy pre-release set. That video is linked here in case you haven't already seen it, as well as a whole Star Wars Unlimited playlist. This is the way.